Oh, you thought Mama D was done. Thought she'd ride off quietly into reality TV history with a purse full of shade and a glass of Merlot? Nah, baby. This ain't your average love and hip-hop reunion drama. This is a full-blown televised ambush. And trust me, Bambi wasn't ready. In fact, nobody was. Imagine tuning in for a sweet little daytime interview. Maybe expecting tears, apologies, some "I'm healing" nonsense. And boom. The doors swing open and in storms Mama D like Atlanta's unfiltered Oprah with receipts in one hand and vengeance in the other. Did she wait for an invite? Nope. Did she care about the cameras? Absolutely not. So what set Mama D off this time? Why is Bambi shaking in her professionally contoured boots? And what exactly was inside that purse that had producers scrambling? And fans screen recording like their lives depended on it? Buckle up, cousins, because this ain't just another TV meltdown. This is the moment Bambi's carefully curated storyline hit a brick wall called Mama D Live, uncut and petty as ever. And baby, when the queen flips the table, you better duck. Let's take it back. Way back to the moment the first domino fell. Because what just happened on Live TV wasn't some random reality TV meltdown. It was a perfectly brewed storm, years in the making. Mama D didn't wake up one morning and decide to torch Bambi's carefully built image. This wasn't spur of the moment. Rage. No, this was the explosion of years of buried resentment, unspoken truths, and one too many fake Instagram captions about healing and moving on. Bambi wanted to control the narrative, tell her side of the story in a safe little studio with controlled lighting and soft music. She thought she had the upper hand. But she forgot one thing: Mama D doesn't play by the rules. She writes her own script and delivers it live, raw, and without a filter. So when Bambi sat on that beige couch trying to look sad and broken for the cameras, she had no idea the Queen of the South was backstage. Purse full of receipts and fury hotter than an Atlanta summer. It all started when Bambi booked herself a feel-good interview on a talk show barely hanging on in the ratings. The producers were desperate for clicks, and Bambi was desperate for sympathy. So they cooked up a segment called Healing After Heartbreak and promised her full control over the narrative. Cue the rehearsed tears, the soft sniffles, the dramatic pause before talking about how Scrappy did her wrong, how Mama D never accepted her, and how she's just trying to co-parent in peace. The audience nodded along, some even teared up. It was all going to plan. That is, until that studio door swung open like the gates of karma itself. Enter Mama D, purse still on her shoulder, fire in her eyes, and not a single ounce of chill. The producers tried to stop her. Security tried to stall her. But if you think a velvet rope and a headset-wearing intern can stop Mama D when she's on a mission, you clearly haven't been paying attention. She stormed onto that set like she owned it, snatched the spotlight without saying a word, and stood dead center in front of Bambi. The room went silent. The host tried to cut to commercial. Too late. Mama D was already mid-monologue. You want to play victim? Then tell these people how you lied on my son. Tell them how you used my grandbabies as shields for your mess. Tell them how you've been running around Atlanta with a man who ain't your husband, while dragging Scrappy's name through the mud. Bambi froze, blinking like someone who just saw their entire social media career flash before their eyes. She tried to smile, tried to compose herself, but Mama D wasn't finished. She pulled out a crumpled envelope from her purse like it was a magic trick and started reading text messages out loud. Screenshots, voice notes, alleged burner phone logs. The studio crew didn't know whether to keep filming or pull the plug, but the live feed kept rolling. And just like that, Bambi's carefully crafted image started cracking like a cheap foundation in Georgia heat. Mama D wasn't just throwing shade. She was throwing facts. Or at least what she swore were facts. And the crowd was eating it up. One minute they were crying with Bambi. The next they were whispering, "Is that true?"
Bambi
tried to recover. She flipped her hair, adjusted her mic, and hit Mama D with the classic reality TV defense line. "Mama D, I think you need help." That was the wrong move. Mama D leaned in, smiled, and pulled out a hotel key card. "Remember this?" Found it in your old purse, right next to a receipt from a late-night dinner for two and a handwritten note that said, "Delete our messages." Bambi's face turned to stone. The host attempted to salvage the segment, stuttering something about maintaining dignity and privacy, but nobody was listening. The internet had already caught wind. Clips were screen recorded, tweets were flying. Viewers were dropping everything to see the train wreck unfold in real time. And somewhere in Atlanta, Scrappy's cousin was live streaming the entire thing. From his phone, whispering, "This about to be good." What followed wasn't a breakdown, it was a takeover. Mama D hijacked that interview like it was her own press conference. Every time Bambi opened her mouth, another receipt came out of that purse. Photos, bank records, DMIS, and the more Bambi denied, the more Mama D smirked because she knew the internet would do the rest. She didn't need to convince the world. She just needed to plant the seed. And within minutes, gossip blogs, fan pages, and anonymous Twitter accounts were doing the gardening for her. By the time producers finally managed to cut to commercial, the damage was already done. Bambi's name was trending for all the wrong reasons. That tearful skincare promo she slipped in during the first half of the interview overshadowed that subtle plug for her new single mom podcast. Buried, because nobody was talking about Bambi's healing anymore. They were too busy dissecting the receipts Mama D dropped like confetti. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get any worse, one of Bambi's old friends, more like a frenemy, leaked a blurry photo of her, allegedly sneaking out of a hotel with a man who was definitely not Scrappy. The caption? "We been new." At that point, the internet went from curious to savage. And that's where things really start spiraling. Because while Mama D was escorted out of the studio still shouting over her shoulder, "Just wait till I go live tonight," Bambi was already back in her dressing room, pacing, sweating, and trying to figure out who sold her out. Her PR rep was screaming into a phone, her stylist was packing up wigs, and an unpaid intern was quietly Googling crisis management firms. But Bambi wasn't worried about the talk show fallout. She was worried about what Mama D might drop next. Because if the Queen was bold enough to storm a live interview, imagine what she had saved for her upcoming Facebook live stream. And spoiler alert, what comes next might just blow the lid off everything Bambi tried to bury. And just like that, the sun hadn't even set over Atlanta when Mama D hit that infamous go live button. No filter. No glam squad. Just her silk robe, a full wine glass, and that same purse now resting like a trophy of war beside her. Throne-like chair. Within seconds, over 60,000 people flooded the stream. Some came for answers, most came for blood. But nobody was ready for what came next. Because Mama D didn't just go live. She went nuclear. First words out her mouth? "Tonight we expose the truth Bambi prayed would never see daylight." And baby, when I say she meant every word, I mean it. The comments exploded before she could even finish her sentence. Viewers were screen recording in real time, some typing so fast you'd think rent money was on the line. But then the real bomb dropped. Mama D leaned toward the camera, smirked, and said, "Y'all ready for my guest?" A few seconds later, sliding into frame like it was a love and hip-hop reunion stage, came Erica Dixon, Scrappy's ex, Bambi's long-standing nemesis. And the last person anyone expected to see sipping wine next to the Queen. Erica didn't come to play, she came to finish. Sitting there with her edges laid and her smirk already on 10, she didn't waste time with introductions. She went straight for the jugular. I warned Scrappy years ago. She played the victim to get close, flipped him against his mama, and behind closed doors, she was already plotting. And now, y'all see it. Mama D clinked her wine glass and added, "You don't use my grandbabies as props and think I won't fight fire with fire." But that wasn't even the worst of it. Erica casually dropped a detail so specific it made everyone sit up. Ask Bambi about the skincare brand Marcus helped fund. Ask her where the LLC money came from. Better yet, ask her why she cried broke but flew first class to Houston twice in 1 month. And Mama D, she didn't just nod. She pulled out receipts, bank statements, Venmo screenshots. Even a grainy photo of Bambi allegedly at Marcus's condo, wearing a hoodie and trying to hide her face. Within minutes, the internet had already zoomed in, identified the hoodie brand, and dug up an old selfie of Bambi wearing the exact same one. Case closed, at least in the court of public opinion. Meanwhile, Bambi's PR team was spiraling. Her manager tried to spin it as a smear campaign. Her stylist posted a passive-aggressive IG story about loyalty, but none of it mattered. Because in the comment section, fans were demanding answers, dragging old clips, and posting side-by-side videos of Bambi crying on the talk show versus her laughing in hotel footage from 2 weeks earlier. One viral comment read, "Sis switched from victim to villain faster than a reunion chair gets thrown." And then the real twist came not from Mama D or Erica, but from a blog. You know the type. Watermarks everywhere, loud colors, and more typos than a drunk group chat. But this blog, it had juice. Because they dropped a leak that flipped the whole saga on its head. A clip of Bambi pacing in a hotel room, mid-argument with Marcus yelling, "If Mama D keeps running her mouth, I'll tell the world what Scrappy did. He ain't no saint either." Suddenly, things weren't so one-sided anymore. Mama D, now seeing the clip circulating mid-livestream, didn't flinch. She raised her glass again, stared straight into the camera, and said, "Let her talk. Because once I drop what's on my phone, she won't have a word left to say I warned her. You don't tug at my crown and expect not to bleed." Erica added with a grin, petty as ever. But facts? Meanwhile, on Bambi's side of town, sources claimed she was on speaker with her lawyer, trying to block Mama D's livestream. Too late. That train had left the station, picked up steam, and was now dragging her influencer brand right off a cliff. Even small businesses started quietly removing her tags from promotions. One nail tech posted a clip of the live with the caption, "We knew she was messy, but not this messy." By the next morning, Atlanta felt different. The streets weren't buzzing with the usual gossip. No, this time they were humming with disbelief, scandal, and the distant sound of Bambi's reputation crumbling under the weight of receipts. Mama D had said the next drop would be explosive, and true to her word, she delivered. Because just as people were finishing their morning coffee, a fresh voice note appeared online. But this wasn't some bootleg leak from a burner blog. No, baby, this was straight from Mama D's own page, posted with the caption, "Since she wants to talk secrets, let's spill them all." The voice in the clip? Bambi, clear as day, giggling, bragging, telling someone on the other end of the call. Scrappy thinks he's so smart. He doesn't even know I got backups on backups. He gon' take care of me no matter what. And Mama D, she's old news. As soon as I get this deal locked in, they're both irrelevant. It wasn't just a confession. It was a full-blown declaration of manipulation, and the internet devoured it. Within minutes, comment sections were overflowing. One user wrote, "Sis had a whole evil plan while selling bath bombs and crying on talk shows." Another said, "She's not the victim. She's the producer of her own downfall." But the biggest twist came when an anonymous source, allegedly someone from Scrappy's legal team, leaked a list of upcoming court filings. According to the source, Scrappy was preparing a motion for full custody, citing manipulation, public defamation, and a toxic environment. The cherry on top? A request for a restraining order against Bambi contacting Mama D directly. That's right. Scrappy wasn't just standing behind his mama. He was lawyering up, and based on the public's reaction, his timing couldn't have been better. Bambi, though, didn't go down without trying. Later that day, she posted a story, a black screen. One sentence, "I'm done protecting people who don't deserve it." But nobody bought it. The same fans who once begged her to speak her truth were now digging up old posts and dissecting every word. A resurfaced Instagram caption from 2021 where she claimed, "Everything I built is from love, not lies," was reposted with a new comment, "Delete this, it aged like milk." Meanwhile, Erica Dixon was basking in the aftermath like a queen, returning from battle. She posted a boomerang clinking glasses with Mama D, both of them laughing like women who knew they just flipped the entire script. Erica even commented on a gossip blog post, "When you move funny, don't cry when life becomes a comedy." And Mama D? She was already teasing her next live, promising the final chapter, saying, "Y'all think you saw something? Wait till I show you the group chat receipts." And just like that, Bambi's brand partnerships began to wobble. One hair care company she promoted quietly archived her posts. A candle line that featured her in its Mother's Day campaign pulled their ad. Even a boutique that once called her a vision of strength updated their homepage with a new influencer one, who hadn't just been exposed as a master manipulator on live TV. The dominoes were falling fast, but what really shook the internet came in the form of a mysterious clip dropped by an anonymous page titled Bambi's Final Card. In the grainy footage, Bambi is seen alone, pacing in a hotel suite, frantically leaving a voice message. She says, "If they keep pushing me, I'll expose him. I'll expose Scrappy. He ain't no saint, Mama D wanna act holy." Let's see how she reacts when the truth about her precious boy comes out. Now, whether that threat holds water or not, no one knows. But it opened a new layer of chaos. Is Bambi bluffing, or does she have dirt that could flip the narrative? Mama D's response? A single sentence posted to her story, white text over a black screen. Let her talk. We ain't scared of no fake threats. The truth ain't afraid. Of exposure? And Scrappy? Silent. Not a word. Not a post. Not a tweet, which made the silence even louder. Fans speculated he was preparing his own interview, some exclusive tell-all with a podcast ready to cash in on the mess. Others believed he was staying quiet on purpose, letting Mama D and Erica do the damage while he handled things behind the scenes. Whatever the truth is, one thing's certain, this isn't just another celebrity spat. This is a full-blown reality. Soap opera unraveling live for the world to see. With no edits, no filters, and no producers cutting to commercial breaks. This was war. The kind where wigs don't just fly, they land in courtrooms, on gossip pages, and in DMs full of betrayal. And now the question remains, when Mama D finally drops that final chapter, will Bambi be left with anything to salvage? Or is this the end of her reign as the reality queen turned influencer darling? Asterisk so, now that the wine has been spilled, the wigs have been yanked, and Bambi's glass house lies in shambles. What do you think? Is this the final blow to her carefully crafted image? Or does Bambi still have one trick left under that lace front? Because if there's one thing we've learned from Mama D, it's this. Just when you think she's done, she reloads.
And
if the so-called final tapes really exist, baby, Atlanta might not just trend, it might implode. And what about Scrappy? Is he silently playing chess, letting the chaos work in his favor? Or is there a scandal buried under his silence that Bambi's threatening to dig up? Are we witnessing a mother's fierce loyalty, or a family war that's been boiling for years, finally boiling over on camera? Drop your hottest theories in the comments right now.
Team Mama D, Team Bambi?
Or are you just here for the mess, the tea, and the absolute carnage? Smash that like button if Mama D gave you life. Hit subscribe if you need to be front row for the next explosion. And turn on those notifications, because when that next live drops, when that final tape hits the internet, you do not want to be the last one to know. This isn't just drama. This is the downfall of a storyline. This is war disguised in wine glasses and Instagram filters. And honey, we're just getting started. Stay tuned, stay messy, and most importantly, stay ready. Because if Mama D's right, the next bombshell could shake the whole damn city. We'll see you in the next episode.